Part 1. Radiant Dawn and Chaotic Darkness of Athens city, where infant Socrates was born in year 469 before Common Era, to change greatly human thinking around middle 5th century before Common Era. Athens city-state, not merely small political center on ancient Greece map, but rose up, became radiant heart, proud and powerful, Western civilization, early stage, golden age of Pericles, glorious history period, sculpture art, architecture art, reached divine precision, Parthenon temple, reigning proudly, Acropolis hill top, where drama, deep tragedies, captivating souls, philosophy thinking, first sparks, nurturing fire, breaking darkness, darkness of myth, school of Greece, entire Greek world, attracting great minds, brilliant sophists, eloquent masters, turning black into white, words technique, sophisticated language, maritime empire glamour, powerful empire, but society, cracking deeply, unprecedented changes, Peloponnesian War, terrible war, internal division, tearing apart, unlimited power hunger, elite class, created era, brilliant but chaotic, dramatic transition, light of civilization, darkness of decay, three people, three special people, emerged there, changed forever, human thinking, about truth, about morality, about knowledge, trio of philosophers, Socrates and Plato, Aristotle too, opening character, great history chapter, is Socrates, infant crying, born in year 469 before Common Era, normal family, in Athens, Sophroniscus father, skilled stone mason, Phaenarete mother, midwife lady, not noble blood, like student Plato, later in history, but contained deep symbolic meaning, like his mother, helping infants, physical birth. Socrates later spent life, midwife of soul, helping ideas, wise ideas, to bloom, walking to light, from mind depth. Youth of Socrates, linked Alopecia, residential area, growing up, sounds of stones, hammers and chisels, rhythm of poetry, age 18, political duty, standard citizen, Athens duty, carrying weapons, fighting bravely, fierce battlefields, Potidaea and Delium, Council of 500, important organ, strategy planning, laws of state, Athens society, honoring beauty, perfect male beauty. Socrates was contrast, ironic contrast, strange contrast. Ancient records described him, ugly appearance, crude appearance, standard of time, bulging eyes, always staring, piercing souls, flat wide nose, awkward gait, pot belly stomach, too big, never cared, appearance care, only one cloak, worn out, old cloak, barefoot walking, day after day, hot summer, snowy winter, Athens stone streets, neuroscience view, modern science, maximum energy, intellectual life, instead of appearance, optimizing thinking, abstract thinking, maintaining wakefulness, high awareness, extreme contrast, ugly outside, deep spirit inside, unforgettable character, great paradox, defying prejudice, not teaching, luxury halls, closed gates, no high fees, like sophists, only focusing, winning arguments. He chose life, free walker, wandering agora, busy markets, public centers, asking questions, arguing daily, attracting attention, all social classes, lived simply, material poverty, always surrounded, noble youth, wealthiest youth, including Plato, fascinated by him, questioning style, exposing lies, of powerful men, thinking themselves wise, wisest in city, private life, married Xanthip, hot-tempered woman, 3 sons, not a hermit, away from life, deeply involved, family duty, community duty, maintaining spirit, special spirit, unusual spirit. Socrates believed, knowledge not books, old books, but self-awareness, true wisdom, only begins when brave enough, recognize limits, own understanding, wrote nothing, but influence, became soul. Western philosophy, reason journey, leading humans, understand self, understand world. 2000 years, Part 2. Why Socrates became most influential figure, and dramatic journey, finding wisest person, by Delphi oracle, in 5th century, before Common Era. Socrates not only one person, in Athens city, in 5th century, before Common Era, daring to ask tough hard questions about justice, meaning, knowledge or morality, but he alone knew to turning those questions into a lifestyle, supreme existence principle, and a path, saving human soul from dark ignorance, point making him completely different from contemporary sophist thinkers, was that instead of giving speeches, flowery rhetoric speeches, using polished words, persuading or misleading, for personal profit, Socrates chose path, direct persistent dialogue. He continuously questioned, peeling every layer, false belief layers, of the opponent, forcing them realize their own limits, deep contradictions inside their shallow understanding. Socrates wrote nothing, left no works, philosophical or literary, in written text, but he planted, in young minds, Athens' elite youth, a fire seeking the truth, living honestly with their selves, a fire that no political power could ever extinguish. His great influence came not only from transcendent wisdom, but from character, simple living attitude, rejecting rich wealth, rejecting high power, always valuing truth over vain fame. He brave enough, looking straight at naked truth, beyond daily calculations, power and benefits, selfish daily interests, that usually blind human reason, in flowing stream. Western philosophy history. Socrates most famous for classic self-awareness, through the statement, "I only know. I know nothing." This famous quote, not fake humility, but became symbol, highest humble wisdom, endless learning desire of human race. Over 1,000 years, history of humanity, to Socrates' mind, true real knowledge, not accumulating information, shallow surface information, or showing off, fake outside wisdom, pleasing the crowd, but strong awakening, recognizing personal limits. In vast universe, this is core foundation for Socratic method technique, open questioning technique, never imposing answers, ready-made answers, but patiently guiding the opposite person, self-discovering contradictions in own thoughts. This self-awareness of great Socrates did not come by chance. It was strengthened by famous event, dramatic famous event. His close friend, named Chaerephon, once went to temple, Delphi temple oracle, asking prophet Pythia if anyone alive, wiser than Socrates. The prophet answer, through divine oracle, was shocking affirmation. No one wiser than Socrates. Hearing this oracle, Socrates did not show any pride or any arrogance, but on contrary, felt very confused, extremely panicked feeling, because he always, honestly deeply knew, he lacked knowledge, deep profound knowledge, in any field, to test oracle. This paradoxical prophecy, he began journey, hard questioning journey, targeting all people, considered most wise, most outstanding people, in Athens city, in 5th century, before Common Era, from politicians holding life-death power, to famous poets, most skilled artisans. After talking deeply, profound deep dialogue, with influential people, in the city, Socrates realized truth. Heartbreaking ironic reality. Politicians held power, but always illusioned about their knowledge. They talked justice, but actually misunderstood deep original nature. Poets created works, perfect beautiful works, by natural instinct, but they themselves did not understand true origin meaning of divine inspiration, while skilled artisans, extremely good at specialized manual craft, mistakenly thought that understanding manual work meant they knew comprehensive total wisdom, every social aspect. From these bitter real experiences, Socrates drew conclusion, great historic conclusion, changing thinking history. He was not wiser than anyone in possessing information, more raw information, but he differed, daring to honestly admit his ignorance, lack of understanding, while other people always lived in an illusion. They knew much. This self-awareness about personal limits is real beginning of true wisdom, a soul daring, facing the truth, constantly improving self. Another core thought of wise Socrates was the view, caring for soul. He believed that human life only truly valuable when seeking good, training moral character, nurturing the soul, instead of chasing material wealth or vain power, questioning other people. To Socrates' mind, not proving himself better than them, or humiliating them before the crowd, but to help them review beliefs and lifestyle, becoming more honest with their selves. That lifestyle showed through his absolute deep loyalty to his ideals, even when that led him to fierce harsh conflicts with state government. The perfect harmony, transcendent wisdom thought, indomitable strong character, turned Socrates into a guiding lighthouse, illuminating the journey of reason, for over 2,000 years. Part 3. Socrates and the Fateful Death Sentence in year 399 before Common Era. Unyielding integrity facing the breaking point of truth. From historical philosophy view, Socrates was great teacher, but also dangerous detonator for Athens' social order. At end of century, 5th century before Common Era. Reasons why people hated, even saw as threat, not just annoying questions, but 4 deep causes, accumulated through decades. First was Socratic method, exposed many powerful figures, politicians and intellectuals, showing shallow ignorance in crowded public squares. Socrates used no flowery speeches, breaking every sophistry with sharp reason, making powerful people lose their face, losing political prestige, built on intellectual pride. This frankness hurt ego, directly touching core interests of rulers ruling in Athens. Second was strong influence on elite youth in 5th century, before Common Era, making rulers worried. Youth from powerful families, seeking him not for obedience, but learning independent thought, skeptical of traditional values, questioning state authority. In eyes of rulers, Socrates was not teacher, but poisoner of minds, corrupting young respect for old rules and dignity of ancestors. Third was political context. After Peloponnesian War, terrible war, leading to extreme suspicion. Some students and acquaintances involved in political events, shocking the city, including the infamous 30 Tyrants government. Though Socrates never participated or encouraged violence, these connections made people and rulers believe. He sowed seeds of doubt, indirectly creating instability for Athens. Fourth was religious aspect, a sacred spiritual pillar, untouchable in Athens. At that time, Socrates often mentioned daimonion, a sacred inner voice, stopping him from wrong. He believed divine sign, truly present, guiding humans toward good. From this personal view, he thought rituals, worshipping or begging gods, might be unnecessary. These personal faith ideas unintentionally threatened belief system, where public sacrifices linked identity and stability of the state. Suspicions built for years finally exploded into indictment. Year 399 before Common Era, accusing Socrates of two serious crimes: not honoring Athens' gods and corrupting youth morality. Facing public court with 500 jurors, 500 Athens citizens, Socrates firmly refused begging for mercy or tragic drama. common in courts. Instead he chose defense. Resilient and honest. Steely until the end. He argued inner voice. Daimonian. Was not against gods, but true divine guidance, leading to righteousness. He affirmed not teaching people unrighteousness, but teaching justice, caring for souls first, before material wealth. His famous words, "An unexamined life is not worth living," echoed through millennia. Great manifesto of freedom of human thought, to the penalty phase, instead of repentance, to reduce sentence. He smiled and suggested, deserving an honorary meal at the Prytaneum, reserved for heroes, because his philosophy made Athens wiser. Finally, death verdict by poison was passed, waiting for execution. Year 399. Before Common Era. Though friends prepared escape, Socrates firmly refused, chose to follow reason and legal order. Until his last breath, he drank hemlock poison cup calmly, turning his death into a mortal final lesson about morality and courage of a free soul. Part 4. Plato Life Journey. From broken dreams to eternal ideas. In 4th century. Before Common Era. Death of Socrates. Year 399. Before Common Era. Great master executed. Unjust and dark. Shocking young Plato. Changing his life. Trajectory forever. Born in Athens. Year 428. Before Common Era. Wealthy noble family. Ariston the father. King Codrus descendant. Perictione the mother. Solon the legislator. Blood of power. Aristocles' original name. Known as Plato. Meaning broad shoulders. Broad forehead wisdom. Universal thinking style. Initial political dream. Leading Athens' glory. Chaos changed him. Late 5th century. Early 4th century. Before Common Era. Corruption and turmoil. Crisis after war. Shattered his ideals. Factions fighting hard. Demagogues rising up. Socrates' death verdict. Hemlock poison cup. Purest moral master. Shocked Plato deeply. Power needs wisdom. Philosophy is path. Only pure truth can save society. Justice and progress. Left Athens city. 10 years wandering. Seeking the answers. Ancient Egypt visited. Religion and science. Italy and Pythagoras. Math and geometry. Broadened his soul. Returned to Athens. Year 387. Before Common Era. Founded the Academy. Sacred Academos Woods. First University West. Free for students. Dialogue teaching method. Theory of forms. Western thought pillar. 2 world levels. Visible sensory world. Changing and decaying. Temporary flawed shadows. World of ideas. Perfect and eternal. Immutable absolute forms. Reached by reason. Pure philosophical thought. Objects are shadows. Oak tree decays. But idea eternal. Moral values foundation. Justice and good. Absolute and vin hang. Eternal. Neuroscience of perception. Brain seeing shadows. Soul seeking truth. Eastern void connection. Beyond the illusion. Finding the real. Lighthouse for humanity. Searching for Truth. 2000 Years. Part 5. Allegory of Cave. Difficult Path Escape. Escape the Ignorance. Reaching Truth Light. 4th century before Common Era. If Theory of Forms. Set Metaphysical Foundation. Plato Massive System. Allegory of Cave. In Republic Book. Written in century. 4th century before Common Era. Vivid haunted proof. Deep symbolic meaning. Human intellectual journey. Understanding Plato's stature. Entering imaginary space. Reflecting human condition. Amidst dark ignorance. Plato described prisoners. Imprisoned since childhood. Deep dark cave. Damp and gloomy. Chained legs, necks. Completely cannot move. Cannot turn heads. Staring at wall. Only stone wall. Behind them far. Burning fire bickering. Casting faint light. Gloomy night time. Between fire prisoners. Crossroad running through. Low wall built. Like puppet screen. Performing puppet shows. On this wall. Guards walking by. Carrying various objects. Wooden statues, figures. Animal puppet models. Trees, human shapes. Firelight behind. Casting dancing shadows. Deformed black shapes. On stone wall. For the prisoners. Imprisoned whole life. Ignorant of world. Honestly believing shadows. Are only reality. Only true reality. Vivid universe existence. Spending whole day. Observing and naming. Enthusiastic debating moves. Proud of wisdom. Predicting accurately rules. Rules of shadows. Living in illusion. Built from ignorance. Highly satisfied world. Narrow small reality. Metaphor for humanity. Relying on senses. Shallow physical senses. Surface information streams. Judging the world. Attracted by reflections. Shallow reality reflections. Mistaken for truth. Until one day. Dark monotony broken. Prisoner chains removed. Forced to stand. Starting new journey. Initially very painful. Full of confusion. Turning head first. Direct firelight. Aching the eyes. Nearly being blind. Confused and afraid. Once familiar shadows. Shadows seem clearer. Easier to understand. Than burning objects. Dragged out cave. Steep rugged path. Perilous difficult way. Pain increases greatly. Physical mental pain. Officially leaving cave. 4th century before Common Era. Sunlight overwhelms eyes. Brilliant dazzling light. Needs long time. Adjust and adapt. New light intensity. Seeing reflections first. Water reflections first. Then real objects. Flowers and birds. Night sky moon. Finally the peak. Peak of enlightenment. Looking at sun. Sun is source. Source of light. Governing all rules. Of visible world. Tasting the freedom. Absolute light beauty. Deep compassion felt. For imprisoned friends. Still in ignorance. Leaving sunny world. Returning to cave. Desiring to help. Helping friends escape. Tragedy begins here. Entering old environment. Eyes now adapted. Adapted to sun. Clumsy and blind. In dark cave. Walking damp corridors. Explaining the sun. Greatness of sun. Real tree shapes. True bird colors. mocked and teased, judged by prisoners. Journey ruined eyes, cannot see shadows, cannot see reality. Prisoners become angry, violent and aggressive, plotting to harm the Savior, wanting security back. Not just epistemology, deep philosophy mission of education, thinker responsibility community, not coercive process, stuffing dry information into blind souls, visionless effort hopeless, actually liberating process, turning soul eyes from darkness towards truth light, innate cognitive ability, often bound prejudice, habits and desires, shallow earthly desires. Teacher is guide, patiently leading individual, overcoming initial difficulties, reaching the truth. Journey full risks. Sacrifices are real. Darkness lovers resist. Anyone changing world. Narrow limited worldview. Special Plato philosophy. Permeated Western education. Holding core values. In modern society. Surrounded shallow entertainment. Misleading information streams. Liberal education role. Shaping the character. Strong cognitive ability. Discovering the knowledge. Comprehensive self-development. Undergoing liberation process. Stepping out cave. Habits and prejudice. Surface shallow knowledge. Plato truth spread. Beyond Europe borders. Humanity foundation built. Over 1,000 years. Vietnam educators too. Using this metaphor. Liberal education necessity. Independent citizens built. Critical thinking power. Socially responsible souls. Difficult painful journey. Only true path. Leading to perfection. Beauty and happiness. True life happiness. Part 6. Aristotle Practical Revolution. Outstanding student pulled. Philosophy back down. Back to earth. 4th century before Common Era. In year 384. Before Common Era. Small town Stagira. Northern Greece region. Infant was born. Medical tradition family. Named Aristotle. Ancient Greek name. Meaning best purpose. Genius premonition journey. Endless discovery journey. Most influential thinker. Humanity history thinker. Unlike Master Plato. Noble background dreamer. Abstract ideals dreamer. Aristotle childhood linked. Macedonian royal court. Father Nicomachus serving. Royal personal doctor. King Amyntas III. Visiting palace often. Exposed medical environment. Practicing observation healing. From very young. Trained realist thinking. Meticulous detailed thinking. Searching core causes. Through experimental practice. Destiny struck hard. Aged 10 years. Lost both parents. Became an orphan. Luckily adopted by Uncle Proxenus. Best learning conditions. Encouraged endless curiosity. Natural world curiosity. Early loss tragedy. Nurturing favorable environment. Pushed Aristotle seeking the knowledge. Solid foundation for great academic career. At age 17. Sent to Athens. Plato Academy School. Prestigious famous school. Sharp thinking mind. Diligence amazing mind. Became best student. Plato specially valued. Called the intelligence of school. 20 years there. Absorbed Plato essence. Great thought struggle. In his mind, Plato elevated ideas. Perfect ideal world. Material world shadows. Aristotle leaned practice. Applying the knowledge. Real practical life. True knowledge found. Not far away. But meticulous observation. Empirical experience proof. Logical analysis power. Phenomena right before his eyes. Distance forming between master and student. Unbridgeable distance forming. But Aristotle kept standard respectful attitude towards his master. Great turning point. Around year 347 before Common Era, Plato passed away. Academy management given to Speusippus, nephew of Plato, not to Aristotle. Historical sources say, deeply disappointed Aristotle, believing his talent, 2 decades devotion, deserved to led the school. But this contrast to expectations, became a lever. Leaving Athens city. Opening new chapter. Independent intellectual path. Modern neuroscience view. Separating from master. Experiencing for self. Restructuring the thought. Viewing the world. Objective multifaceted view. Leaving the academy. Teaching and research. In Assos city. Met ruler Hermias. Educated local ruler. Continued academic career. Found personal happiness. Married lovely Pythias, niece of Hermias. Spiritual solid support. Years of research. Year 335 before Common Era. Officially returned Athens. Founded Lyceum School. Advanced teaching method. Unique peripatetic method. Walking while teaching. Not in classrooms. Closed gate classrooms. Walking with students. Shady porch walks. Discussing philosophy science. Discussing morality ethics. Encouraged his students. Not blind trust. Blind theory trust. But constant observation. Analyzing real life. Drawing vivid conclusions. Athens' personal life. Faced many events. First wife died. Linked with Herpylus. Son Nicomachus born. Inspired his father. Nicomachean Ethics book. Great moral work. Link between knowledge and family love. Biggest difference between Aristotle and masters. Scientific systematization process. Socrates asked questions. Unanswered gaps left. Plato built world. Unreachable ideal world. Aristotle built rules. Principles and definitions. Explaining the life. Massive knowledge system. Almost every field. Logic and biology. Physics and metaphysics. And the art. Aristotle point view. Philosophy not pleasure. Abstract thinking pleasure. But powerful tool. Understanding ourselves. Universe laws explained. Creating better society. Fairer just society. Pulling philosophy down. From the clouds. Ideas world clouds. Back to earth. Objective reality ground. 4th century before Common Era. Not just legacy. Socrates and Plato. Creating thought revolution. First bricks laid. Western scientific civilization. Thousands years after. Part 7. Aristotle massive system. From soul nature to golden mean and cosmic order. 4th century before Common Era. Aristotle greatest stature. Combined sharp logic with meticulous observation, abstract distant thought, and vivid experience. Philosophy not tool, winning or showing off knowledge, but supreme means, illuminating the life, finding true purpose, understanding world order, deep soul nature, work on the soul. 4th century before Common Era. Breakthrough idea then. Soul not separate, but life realization, linked to matter. 3 soul levels. Explaining life hierarchy. First vegetative soul, present in plants, responsible for growth, nutrition and survival. Second sensitive soul, present in animals, sensation and motion, reacting to environment. Highest rational soul, gift for humans, reasoning and logic, profound world understanding, thinking independently, perceiving the truth, beyond physical senses, using the reason, creating human difference from nature, building practical ethics, center golden mean, living with virtue, not rigid dogmas, but constant training, balance between extremes, opposite behavioral poles, list of virtues, courage and temperance, generosity and justice, wisdom and benevolence, ideal midpoint state, courage between cowardice and rash madness, generosity between stingy and wasteful excess. Key in philosophy, virtues not innate, formed by habits, by daily practice, flexible midpoint state, depending on context, guided by reason, brain science view, nurturing the habits, training neuroplasticity, neural synapse strength, stable moral reflexes. In real life, expanding to community, eternal truth stated, man is social and political animal, cannot develop fully, separated from community, active social life, trains the ethics and the justice, family basic unit, expands to village, peak is state, complete self-sufficient community, highest noble purpose, good happy life, for every citizen, practicing common virtue, unlike Master Plato, dreaming distant state, Aristotle focused real, improving real nations, based on law, power division logic, representative democracy model, monitoring the politicians, serving common interests, vast cosmic context, 4th century before Common Era, scientific knowledge early, bold claim made, Earth is sphere, center of universe, 4 basic elements, earth, water, air, and the fire, natural position seeking, divided the cosmos, sublunary world below, constant change chaos, superlunary world above, eternal stable orbits, immutable and constant, important rule found, stars follow laws, human life changes, affected by choices, and human behavior, reason as foundation, careful in decisions, not imposing absolute ideal dreams, on changing society, treasure of past, golden thread woven, connecting the pieces, experience and ideas, solid foundation built, science and education, for entire humanity, through many centuries. Part 8. Eternal legacy of 3 pillars of Western philosophy and Continued journey of reason in modern world. Looking back history stream. From busy Athens streets. In 5th century. Before Common Era. Until this very day. We see figures of 3 giants who shaped framework entire human thinking. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. Not just historical figures, but golden threads woven in intellectual tapestry we inherit today. Over 2,000 years. Through many ups-downs of various empires, scientific revolutions and changing ideologies, influence still lingers. In university halls, in every law book, daily ethical debates, and political discussions. Greatest legacy from Socrates. Critical thinking spirit. Constant self-questioning. Taught humans admit own flaws. Always asking why, instead of blind acceptance. In our modern time, amidst chaotic information sea, surrounded by algorithms, Socrates' reminder stays. Keeping independent mind. Asking correct questions. Opening door to truth. Protecting from shallow illusions. Plato followed that fire. Expanded human vision. With great world ideas. Behind temporary physical forms. Always exist deep values. Truth, goodness and beauty. Applied in modern life. Plato philosophy is medicine. Healing tired souls. Lost in pragmatism. Or social bustle. Reminding every individual. Seeking and building. Core personal principles. Eternal ideals as support. Against life changes. While Aristotle provided the missing piece. Pulling philosophy down. Back to earth. Objective reality. Through observation and analysis. Systemizing into laws. Laid first bricks. Logical thinking. Scientific methodology. Seeing things as they are. Thorough analysis from many angles. Before making conclusion. Thanks to Aristotle. Philosophy no longer abstract, but powerful tool to explain and arrange, improve real world in most effective way. Overall influence. 3 pillars Western philosophy. Perfect blend between Socrates questioning, Plato ideal dreams, and Aristotle practicality. 3 generations created. Endless journey of reason. Deep understanding of self and world around. Legacy not fixed theories or final answers, but the spirit. Spirit they passed down. Courage to admit limits. Questioning the obvious. Daring to live. Protecting believed truth. Though science progressed far beyond ancient knowledge of ancient Greece. Vision of observation. Finding core causes. Remains the compass for human intellectual journey. Studying philosophy. Not for detached scholars, but wise mindset. Receiving new ideas. Without immediate acceptance. If not fitting reason. And ethics. Journey through 3 stages. Brilliant ancient philosophy. Simple Socrates questions. Plato world of ideas. Aristotle massive system. Search for meaning. Search for life meaning. Their teachings like a warm message. In a changing world. Keeping soul pure. Mind alert. Is true happiness. Hope these reflections on 3 great philosophers give you motivation, nurturing wisdom and courage in daily life. If video brought you New deep perspectives about self and world. Please support Daily Life Stories by pressing like, subscribe and share. Share with everyone. Your support is huge motivation for us. Continuing the exploration. Humanity great spiritual values. Leave your comment. Favorite philosopher. Or lessons learned after this journey. Sincerely thank you for listening and joining with us. Keep wisdom fire. Finding peace happiness on chosen path. Heart.